cleaning up in Claresholm, one day after a massive hailstorm. Seniors affected by cuts at City Hall.
Property tax going up, the food going up, the gas going up. I can't afford it.
And some say they could be forced out of their homes and spreading their wings.
I still stand and look at it and go, wow, I can't believe we did this.
A major milestone for a bird rehab facility.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. The residents of Claresholm are starting to clean up following yesterday's severe thunderstorm. Baseball-sized hail, heavy rain, and strong winds caused extensive damage to homes, vehicles, and properties. Tyson Fedor is in Claresholm. And Tyson, it's going to take residents a while to clean up all the damage.
Well, Ian, today the rain was not letting up as it continued throughout the day. Tree branches littering the streets here in the community of Claresholm. Many broken windows on homes and buildings as this community was ravaged by that hail, and it caused many leaks in homes in this community. Now, Gilbert Gong and his family have placed dishware, buckets and bowls on their kitchen floor to catch rainwater dripping in from their roof. Their home and 3 vehicles were severely damaged by the storm. Gong saying that he received Environment and Climate Change Canada's new weather alert, but did not think much of it until the hail started 15 minutes later. The family's living room window, only installed 4 years ago, was shattered and their roof now needs repairing. Around town, trees lay in the road while cleanup efforts are underway. Some localized flooding occurred due to clogged drains. Gong says he has never seen a storm as severe as this.
I've been here like 16 years. There's a hail, but just a small hail. It doesn't damage. Like, this is the first time that we experience this. It's just a mother nature, so it is what it is. So lucky we have insurance to, that fix all this. It is what it is.
The Insurance Bureau of Canada says it will take at least a month to determine the estimated costs of claims for this community. At this point, no injuries have been reported. Ian?
Tyson, thanks very much. Adriana joins us now with a look at the weather. We certainly don't want a repeat of that storm.
No, it is wet weather that continues into Alberta tonight and really until Friday morning, but less severe storms expected this evening. Now, as we take a look at the watches and warnings, there is still potential for funnel cloud activity, especially in central regions of Alberta. That stretches from Sylvan Lake, including Red Deer, Ponoka, down to Drumheller as well, close to Coronation. That's where the likelihood of funnel clouds is most likely to happen. However, for southwestern parts of the province, along the southern foothills, is a rainfall warning, and that's because these areas could see close to 50 to even 80 millimeters of rainfall totals by Friday. Right now in Calgary, it's 14 degrees, looking fairly cloudy outside, chance of showers overnight, and that continues into our Thursday. Here's a look at your 24-hour forecast brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at 5th Avenue Volkswagen. Tonight, we see the temperature rise actually to 15 degrees before dipping down. Chance of showers continues into tomorrow, starting at 11 degrees. We'll have more details for you later on in the show.
Thanks, Adriana. Police are asking for the public's help following an armed robbery this week. Around 11:45 on Monday night, 2 masked men entered Austin's Bar and Grill on Elbow Drive. Investigators say it's believed the men had a gun and ordered everyone to the ground before stealing cash from the business. Witnesses say the suspects took off in a dark SUV. Police would like to hear from anyone with security or dash cam footage from the area at the time of the robbery. Over a year after a crash left 1 woman dead and 3 people injured, police have laid charges. It happened last year in the early morning hours of July 21st along 52nd Street. Police say the driver of a truck was speeding the wrong way down the northeast street, fatally hit a pedestrian, then smashed into an oncoming SUV, leaving the couple in that vehicle with life-threatening injuries. 26-year-old Rami Hamdan is now facing a number of dangerous driving charges. Work is about to start on what the city calls a major improvement to a large stretch of road in southwest Calgary. Kevin Green joins us from the area. So, Kevin, why are some people who live along 26th Avenue concerned about this project?
Ian, residents here say their big concern is parking. The redesign of 26th Avenue will eliminate a lot of on-street parking, and residents I spoke to here say they rely on those spaces. The project runs from 37th Street in the west part of southwest Calgary to 14th Street and includes protected bike lanes, multi-use pathways, and intersection upgrades. The city says there just isn't enough room in some sections to keep the parking and add the planned safety improvements, but residents say their concern really isn't the cycling upgrades themselves. They question how the city arrived at the final design and whether their concerns were actually adequately addressed.
Even in the summer months, I see maybe one cyclist every hour out here. And I understand that, we want to encourage people to commute via bicycles, whatnot, and get rid of driving if you can. But you're promoting more inner city redevelopment in terms of housing. And then you're going to take away parking. It's just, these houses, we've got a single car garage, but most houses have 2 to 3 vehicles, right? So those vehicles have to park somewhere.
The debate over this road and the cycling lanes that are on it comes at a time when the province is also conducting a survey of Albertans, asking them what their concerns are about bike lanes. The questionnaire doesn't directly allow for people to say they support bike lanes, but recently added a section that says people with no concerns can click one box. Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen has suggested bike lanes create problems for traffic flow in some areas. The city says the planned upgrade of this road is expected to take a couple of years and is designed to enhance safety for all users, including vehicles. Ian?
Thank you, Kevin. A national group wants Alberta's chief medical examiner to take a closer look at the deaths of pedestrians and cyclists on our roads. The group is called CRASH, or Coalition to Reduce Auto-Size Hazards. Last year, pedestrian deaths in Calgary reached an 11-year high. CRASH wants the medical examiner to find out if the sight lines in larger trucks and SUVs are a factor in the deaths of pedestrians and cyclists. The head of Bike Calgary is in favor of the study.
As the population of our urban centers grow and there's more potential conflicts between the various users of our roads, I think the evidence, certainly from other jurisdictions, would suggest that, it is making a difference.
Provincial statistics indicate between 2019 and 2023, fatalities on Alberta roads rose 26%. The city is cutting home services for low-income seniors. Those affected say they might be forced out of their homes as a result. Our Moses Waldu joins us with the latest. Moses, what's the city's reasoning behind this, and what are seniors telling you?
Well, Ian, the city's program that they decided to cut was the home services for seniors, which provided a multitude of things to help them out. We're talking about lawn care, housekeeping, as well as snow shoveling. But some residents, and that was supposed to end by September 30th, by the way, but some residents are saying that those services are being taken away much sooner. So one gentleman we spoke to, his name is Bruce Skilling. He's been using the city's program for a year and says he's saved anywhere between $300 to $500 a month using the free service. But that all changed last month when he received a letter from the city saying his services will be cut by July 13th. The city responded to CTV saying they are currently the only city in Alberta that administers the provincial program. It was eating into tax dollars, so the city is stepping away. Seniors can get help from the province, but that has also been a struggle for Skilling, who says he doesn't qualify for the special needs assistance for seniors because his income is more than $28,000 per year.
Some person who's making $200,000 a year can say that somebody who's making $32,000 a year is making too much money. My property tax going up, the food going up, the gas going up, I can't afford it.
A seniors advocate here in the city says they've heard from a number of concerned seniors by this and are looking to see how they can help. More on that coming up tonight at 6.
Thanks, Moses. The Calgary Humane Society has launched an investigation into a local dog adoption agency for its feeding and fasting recommendations. CB Rescue Foundation is being looked into for a strict diet plan it's pushing on prospective adopters. The diet list includes potentially dangerous fruit like grapes and full days of fasting. The agency says adhering to the protocol is a requirement to taking home a dog. In a YouTube video from 2022, CB Rescue founder Belinda Morrison claims the feeding strategy has healing powers, but veterinarians call much of it risky and potentially fatal.
Anyone feeding their dog this diet or counseling their adopters or foster homes to feed this diet would be committing an Animal Protection Act offense and could find themselves in some legal trouble. These animals are going to be malnourished. They may suffer disease as a result. They may suffer reduced immunity. And at its worst, malnutrition can lead to death.
Morrison would not agree to be interviewed by CTV News. In an email, she wrote she stands behind her feeding philosophy, which she called natural, minimally processed, and informed by the work of prominent people in the pet nutrition world. The Calgary Humane Society opening their doors today as they call for donations for their spay and neuter program. The program helps reduce financial barriers for people looking to get the preventive care for their pets. All donations right now are being matched by Pet Secure up to $10,000. The Humane Society says spaying and neutering are among the most effective ways to prevent unwanted litters and reduce pet overpopulation. It also removes the risk of diseases that target reproductive organs in dogs and cats. Hockey fans were disappointed when Calgary's only sports radio station was shut down. For a while, it appeared the Calgary Flames would not have a place where fans can listen to the games. Next, the team's new radio home. And keeping an eye on Alberta's lakes, the new website that demonstrates the climate's impact on fresh water. The Calgary Flames have found a new radio broadcast home for their games. Last month, Rogers shut down The Fan, which was Calgary's only sports radio station. Calgary Sports and Entertainment says it's now signed a 5-year agreement with QR 770. The local station will broadcast all Flames home and away games. It's also planning to launch Flames Now, a daily sports talk show. Adriana, this is the time of year when people start looking ahead to hockey season. But I would like to get some more nice summer weather before then.
Yeah, and it does look like as we look ahead to maybe the long-term forecast, we may see those warmer temperatures return. But for now, it's cooler temperatures and wet conditions for much of southern Alberta. Here's a look outside now with our Skywatch weather camera. We see the cloud cover along with some sunshine poking through, but that cloud cover and the wet weather continues tonight into tomorrow. Here's a look at what's been happening in our region. So in the gray, in the southern BC interior, of course, the wildfires bringing in poor air quality. Smoke and haze is still an issue. As we get into the Kootenays, it's severe thunderstorm watches there. That means heavy rain, hail, and strong wind gusts. But for us here at home, central portions of the province, this is the potential for funnel clouds. So less severe weather for us in Alberta thanks to cooler surface temperatures, but that funnel cloud development is possible for areas around Sylvan Lake, Red Deer, Ponoka, including Drumheller, Catherine, and stretching further east to Coronation and Hanna. But for southern regions of the province, especially along the southern foothills, it's this rainfall event that is expected to continue into Friday. And with the upslope flow, that could intensify the rainfall totals close to 50 or even 80 millimeters of rain. So that rain and thunderstorm risk continues for us here in Calgary, just south of Cochrane. We've been seeing some thunderstorms continuing, and that really makes its way into our Thursday morning. Now, as we watch these two low pressure systems converge, that could intensify the rainfall. That clears off into the northeast further into Friday before the clouds clear and sunshine returns here in central portions of the province. That means by the weekend, more sunshine and temperatures do start to rise. But here's a look at those temperatures across the region. Tomorrow, Parts of the BC interior getting up to close to 30 degrees. It's haze and smoke still an issue. Thunderstorm risk for Fernie and into Golden. Daytime highs between the mid-teens to that 20-degree mark. Cooler weather for northern parts of Alberta as well. 13 degrees in Rocky Mountain House, Red Deer 14, 12 degrees in Olds, Calgary, Banff, with that risk of thunderstorms and showers continuing. And as we move further south, 10 degrees for Crow's Nest Pass, 11 in Pincher Creek, 12 degrees for Lethbridge, and into the mid-teens further east into Medicine Hat. Here in Calgary, our 5-day forecast brought to you by Centra Install Pros, your window and door replacement specialists. Cooler weather for tomorrow, 12 degrees as it is that daytime high. 10 to 20 millimeters of rainfall is likely for Calgary. That starts to clear up by Friday morning, that daytime high of 17 degrees. And into the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, more sunshine, temperatures reaching the low 20s. We can expect to enjoy that weekend. Ian?
A new tracking website is monitoring harmful algae blooms in Alberta's lakes. So far, the tracker is being used at 6 recreational lakes, which were chosen due to their characteristics. The website can visualize the amount of blooms in real time and see patterns dating back to 2017. Researchers say the website will also help track how climate change can impact blooms in lakes.
We know that Alberta's lakes are really productive. We know that Alberta's lakes can be really green. But what we want to understand is that changing over time? Have they gotten worse over time? And because of the high frequency nature of this tool, we're able to get one step closer to answering those questions.
Blue-green algae blooms are toxic to people, livestock, and pets. Alberta Health Services currently has dozens of advisories in place. Ottawa keeps highlighting how Canada is building. Still to come, more funding for the many people who will be needed in the building trades. Inflation in the U.S. starts to cool off a bit. Joining me is Leanna Wachniak, investment advisor with the Popwich-Karmali Advisory Group. Leanna, the U.S. core inflation rate is trending down.
That's right. And you're right. It's very slight. We did see a 0.1% decrease in that core inflation number when those CPI numbers were released today. The headline number actually took a step back as well to 3.4%, down from 3.5% a month ago. That's the year-over-year number. So we are seeing the core number come down, but it is still higher than the Fed's target 2% rate of inflation that they are looking for. Now, the U.S. Fed has a bit of a tricky decision on its hands coming up in the meeting in September. We still have inflation above target. We are seeing not necessarily an energy inflation play throughout all those sectors yet. It does seem to be relatively contained right now, but it is still a factor that continues to be part of that inflation calculation. Plus, they're trying to manage some of the slowdown in the labor market that they're seeing as well. So because they have that dual mandate, they do have a tricky job on their hands in September when they make their next rate decision.
Meantime, Air Canada makes a deal involving Aeroplan.
That's right. In fact, they're selling 25% of Aeroplan to a group of Canadian pension plans and led by Blackstone, which is a $2.5 billion cash transaction for them. Now, that's a good deal for Air Canada. That really helps their bottom line. When they bought Aeroplan back in 2019, it was worth about $500 million. Now it's valued at $10 billion. So that's good growth there as well. They also reinstated their guidance today, showing that they are seeing quite a bit of extra fuel costs, about 49% increase in the cost of fuel because of the conflict in Iran right now. So overall, pretty good news for the bottom line, and the market rewarded them for that today. We actually saw their share price finish the day up about 12% at its highest level that we've seen since the beginning of the COVID pandemic.
Leanna, thanks very much.
Thank you.
The The federal government is spending $2 million over the next year to expand trades training. The money is going to the Education Partnership Foundation, which helps students get certified in Red Seal trades. It will specifically go to support apprenticeship opportunities. The government says Canada will need more than 1.4 million new trades workers by 2033 to build homes, expand transit, and develop energy infrastructure across the country.
There is pride in building something. There's dignity in working with your hands. And behind every great project are the workers who make it happen. Projects don't build themselves, workers build them.
The funds are the latest effort to help union-run training centers to upgrade and expand capacity. Work is about to start on what the city calls a major improvement to a large stretch of 26th Avenue in the southwest. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The project will permanently remove on-street parking along portions of that road. There will be intersection upgrades, multi-use pathways, floating bus stops, and protected bike lanes. Coming up at 6, why some cyclists have concerns about the plan. Also ahead, cleanup begins following severe weather in Claresholm. We'll hear from more residents who were impacted by that big storm. We'll see you at 6. Ian.
Thanks, Tara. Singer-songwriter Elvis Costello is coming to Calgary this fall for charity. The two-time Grammy Award winner will perform solo November 21st at the Jubilee Auditorium for the Owen Hart Foundation. Organizers say Costello will offer fans a rare behind-the-music look in an up-close setting. More rain tomorrow, but the weekend sure looks nice. Right now in the city, it's 15 degrees. Adriana has the forecast coming up. So, a fair amount of rain tomorrow.
That's right. Expecting for Calgary, 10 to 20 millimeters is possible, but that rainfall warning for parts of the southern foothills. Right now in Calgary, it's 15 degrees. We've hit our daytime high, much cooler than that regular normal high of 23 degrees for us. However, as we get into the weekend, we're seeing things start to clear up. The temperatures get to the mid-20s by Sunday. Lots of sunshine expected as well.
Thanks, Adriana. A wildlife center near Innisfail has completed its new Raptor Center. It took more than 5 years to complete the Raptor building at the Medicine River Wildlife Center. That's because the operation only builds when it has cash in hand. So, as donations came in, construction took place. The building has 9 different enclosures where the big birds can spread their wings and practice flying short distances to strengthen their muscles.
Had a great gray owl we just released this spring. We had her for 17 and a half months, and she had most of her primary feathers torn out by a logging truck, and those take forever to grow back. And we had the space, so we put her in with the other owls, and yeah, this spring she was ready to go.
Right now, the center is home to 15 owls, 5 bald eagles, some ravens, a pelican, and an osprey that was burned when its nest caught fire. Thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.